Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Trade Talks Live. I am Roger Wakefield, and I guess I'm lost. I don't know. How did I end up over here? I've got another YouTube channel, Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education. But we go live over here every day because, well, if you've been here before, you know. But if you've never been here before, we go live every day because we teach people literally all the time. To be at the top of your industry, you need to study your niche, your craft, your trade for 30 minutes to an hour every day. So we put together a variety show to help you do just that. We talk about the trades, we talk about 11 different topics in the trades, and it's not just me. I've got a freaking pipe fitter in here with me, believe that or not.
Good morning, everybody. Happy hump day. It is Wednesday. Good news. It's all downhill from here unless you're working 7 days a week and then you don't even know what day it is anyway.
Boy, that's true.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great. We do want to thank League Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. If you're a plumber out there tired of waiting around for leak detection people to come find leaks for you, you definitely need to check out our equipment at www.leak-pro.com. And I would suggest the complete kit that comes with both pieces of equipment, the probe for the outdoor service, and then the sidekick whenever you go inside listening through slabs. Also, if you don't know anything about it, I do an in-person training here just outside of Dallas, Texas. It's 2 days, and I'll teach you everything about leak detection. Give me a call and let's discuss at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. Be happy to talk to you.
All right, so the cool thing is, and look, what I use. I'm trying to get my camera over here. For some reason, and it just much. Well, we're good. Look, this is great stuff. I like this. Matt McDonald says, "Tell me about that Leak Pro." Yeah, whenever I discovered that equipment, I thought this is the most amazing leak detection equipment I've ever seen. All the other equipment that I had this big bulky thing you either wore around your neck, you wore around your belt, or around your waist. You had big wires coming out of it up to headphones, big wires coming out of it going to probes or plates or something like that. It's just like, man, there's got to be something different. And when I saw that, I was like, I fell in love with the product immediately. And it's funny because when I met the founder, Terry, he had literally just left a funeral. And he said, "Look, I'm the last one." He said, "Look, I may be dead tomorrow." And I'm like, "Well, what's going to happen to your equipment?" He's like, "I don't know. My kids may do something with it." It's like, man, look, I love this stuff. Let's find a way to work something out. So we did. And we're going to jump right into national news. And I love this because look what you've got. Record number of women entering the trades in 2025, driven by high school partnerships. Oh my gosh. Look, I love going into the high schools as king. I see this because more and more high schools, trade schools, unions, there's more women getting in. And I love that it's starting in high school because when I go speak at high schools, whether it's plumbing, construction management, whatever it is, I get it. And it's the women that are in there too. And those classes are probably 40% women.
Yes.
Maybe 50 sometimes.
Like, yeah, I can remember the unions came in talking to us. It was to our my ag class because I was in the ag work program. And yeah, even back then, I'd say probably 25% of that group was women. But they were in ag a lot in the 4-H clubs, things like that. So I'm glad to see this on the rise.
It's helping, y'all.
It
really is. In 2025, the construction industry seen a significant increase in female participation, with women accounting for 14.3% of U.S. construction workers as of December 2024. Now, I don't know that it's 14%. That seems a little high to me.
I hope it is that.
No, I do too.
Honestly,
it needs to be 30, 40, 50%.
Yeah, but you know what? Think about it this way. Think about this year compared to last year walking trade shows.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you saw more women?
Yeah.
I feel like it too. Yeah. Now, 15% almost, like, I'm not sure, but I do feel like I saw more women walking the trade show this year than last year.
Don't disagree.
It's plausible at least.
Yeah. And this is a steady increase. And high school partnerships are factors contributing to the growth. High school partnerships initiatives like Be Pro, Be Proud. It's funny because we were in there watching the Dr. Phil episode, part of it yesterday. And the attorney is talking about attorneys and doctors and calling them skilled tradesmen.
Yep.
And I laughed. I said, "It's funny you call yourself a skilled tradesman. I call plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs professionals." And most people would think that the other way around.
That's right. Yep.
We're skilled trades, I get it,
Uh-huh.
but we've got a professional license in our pocket, and the fact that he's calling them a skilled trade, and I'm calling us professionals, it blew my mind, but I love this. Be pro, be proud.
Yep.
Be a professional.
That's it. Well,
It
that's all I ever thought of through my time in the trade. I never really thought of myself as a skilled trades person. It was always I'm a professional at the trade because I want to put out the best product I possibly can.
Mhm, and I think that's amazing. Uh, so that initiative in North Texas aims to generate student interest in technical professions by presenting them as high-tech, high-wage career paths, and that's exactly what they are. And then advocacy and mentorship programs, operations are dedicating resources, providing training, mentorship, and advocacy for women pursuing careers in construction to address the underrepresentation of women in the trades. And people ask me all the time, is, can women really do well in plumbing? Well, the number one plumber in the state is a woman, Lisa Hill, the
Yep.
executive director of the Texas State Board. Mary Conger, a mechanical engineer, master plumber with every endorsement, and continuing education provider. Diane Villarreal used to be the chief plumbing inspector in the city of Dallas. I mean, guys, 3 of the top women I know, or 3 of the top plumbers I know are women. And what kind of impact is this having on the industry? Well, the diverse perspectives are amazing. Increased female participation brings diverse viewpoints, enhancing problem solving and innovation on job sites. Guys, women normally move up. They don't stay on their knees, on their hands, on their with their hands, working with their hands on the tools
On the tools,
all
yeah.
day, each and every day. My knees and back kill me from being down on my knees, roughing in bathrooms.
Yep.
I mean, freaking kill me. But this also helps address the labor shortage because encouraging women to enter the trades helps mitigate workforce gaps, ensuring a steady influx of skilled labor, professional labor. Now, are there challenges or things to consider?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Despite the progress, only 6% of women reported learning about trade opportunities from high school guidance counselors, indicating a need for improved outreach. Guys, if you can tell any high school in the world about me, say, "Look, y'all need to watch Roger," and I mean on Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education, because I talk about this all the time. If I could get in schools and talk to teachers, if I could go to, these cities do these things, and I say cities, the school districts, where they bring in all the teachers right before school starts, and
Yep.
they do a big address. Let's
Mhm.
talk about you.
Yep.
Let's talk to y'all about what we need to be talking about. If I could get in front of those groups and say, "Guys, look, we need people in the trades. Y'all are training them right now. You need to tell them about these opportunities, tell them about the money, and tell them about the potential to move up and grow and own your own business." It could be phenomenal. And the retention, creating inclusive work environments and providing support networks are essential for retaining female tradespeople. And I'll tell you on this, I went to hire a plumber one day, came in, we went through an interview process, and we were talking about, that we and he said, "Well, she can't ride with me." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He says, "I just don't need my wife to have to worry about me riding around with a female all day." So, "Well, then, dude, I don't need you here because we got females in the office. You never know when I ask Amber to jump in a truck, 'Hey, do a ride along.'" And he's like, "Oh, no, no, I can't do it." I said, "Okay, thank you." So, "Well, I really want the job." "No, you don't." Alright, we're gonna jump into website review. What did you pick here?
Journal of Light Construction, JLC Online. There's a link there for you.
Yeah, but I don't know where it's gonna take me.
It's take you to JLC
I know.
Online.
Over here, though.
Yeah, you can drag that tab.
I will.
Uh, so this site, my favorite part is the how-tos. He's about to share. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Uh, the how-tos through here is one of my favorites.
How'd I do?
And you're
you
in
got
the
a mouse,
section
you can
now.
control it.
Yeah, and like everything's over there. So
I'm not worried about it. You're good. Oh, I should have
I
moved that
can't
where
see
you can see
the
it.
yeah,
Okay,
like
now I
it's
see.
the issue
Here
for
we
me.
go.
There we go. Yeah. Uh, perfect. So like here, guys, how-tos, remodeling, tools, products, decks, business. Okay. It gives you a little bit of everything you want to learn. This is a good resource.
Hot water piping.
Some of my favorites down here. Look, here's something that we need to look into. We've got an electrician on the way. Electrical, electrical basics, main service, grounding, rough wiring, finish wiring, low voltage wiring, lighting. Guys, if there's something that you need to know how to do to help you in the trade that you do or around the house, things like that, or you don't know anything about it and you want to go through, start researching a trade to get into, it's a great resource. You can go through them all. Foundations, if you want to get into foundation work.
There's good money in it.
There's great money in that. It wouldn't interest me much. They threw me under a lot of houses as a kid because my whole family's plumbers. I just kind of got tired of being under a house.
You get that.
So yeah. But there's a little bit of everything here. Plumbing. You want to learn some plumbing. You want to learn some HVAC or insulation. Everything's here, guys. Got you. Just click
teamwork, baby.
That's it. This is a great resource to go to, guys. And I found a lot of these different websites that are out there, and I try to bring up a lot of the ones that you don't have to pay for to learn. It's free resources to go through here, check the different trades out, find out what interests you, and then try to find you a job in your area. Start doing that. So some really good things.
It's neat. I like this.
Like,
now, is this JLC like JLC equipment?
No,
is that JLB?
The Journal of Light.
I understand, but I didn't know if it's owned by them.
No.
Okay.
No.
JLB.
Yeah.
Big
JLB. Yeah. No, just different. But I just thought this was a really cool resource and figured I'd kind of bring it to attention. It's one that I hadn't heard of before. And it's like, man, this is actually great. I like the layout. It's simple to follow and have fun exploring.
I'll tell you what, I like this. That's actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we do, look, we discover stuff like this all the time. And the reason that we bring it to y'all's attention is whenever we're talking about educating yourself each and every day for 30 minutes to an hour, because this is the kind of place you do it at.
Yep.
So tell me about that Leak Pro. Also, happy hump day. I love using you as an example of breaking down plumbing for simple understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very simple guy. Makes it easy. So yeah, a lot of stuff there. And guys, journals like this, magazines like this, online resources like this are what can help you grow to be in the top 5% of your industry. And that's exactly why we bring up the websites like we do. But now we're going to talk about business growth. And this is a big one because this is one I get asked about a lot, but it's getting out of the field. What needs to be in place first? First of all, you need help. Okay, I'm going to throw that out there. You can't just be driving around a truck when I said, that's it, I'm done, I'm in the office now. You need plumbers.
Yep.
But transitioning from hands-on work to managerial or ownership role requires careful planning and strategic, one of my favorite words here, implementation.
Yep.
As implementation is what it's all about. Essential steps. Number one, build a competent team. Well, you've got to hire the right people. Recruit individuals who not only possess technical skills, but also align with the company's culture and values. And I got to tell you, I've been bad about that. I've hired, I'm like, man, this guy's good. He's a go-getter. He's a salesman. He's going to be great. Comes in, the attitude sucked.
Yep.
And it affected everybody in the company. So they took away my privilege of hiring plumbers.
It can be toxic.
It can. It can be dangerous.
There's bad apples. I learned that.
Yeah.
It was funny because I was a foreman on a job and the superintendent was over me, and I got a bad apple as a welder. He was welding 16 inches a day. And I'm like, dude, like,
yeah. We normally do that an hour. Come on, let's go.
Told the superintendent, he's like, have you talked to him yet? Well, hell yeah, I talked to him
every day.
Come on, like, dude, come on. I need you to do some more. Give me some production. Are you trying to get run off or what? What's going on here? And then finally the guy's like, look, man, you were out a couple days. I had to deal with that guy. I think you just got a bad apple. I'm going to run him off. Thank you. I've been trying to do that, but you didn't want to believe it.
Okay. And then you got to train your people. Don't just hire people, train them. Keep training them. Develop standard operating procedures, SOPs. I'm horrible about that. That's why I have a team around me. But documentation, create detailed manuals outlining processes for various tasks to ensure consistency and quality. Again, implementation, regularly review and update SOPs, incorporating feedback from the team, but also check, trust, but verify.
Mhm.
Say, hey, look, I want you to get this done, but then come back in and say, hey, where is it? Uh, I hadn't got started yet. Look, if I ask you 3 weeks ago to freaking do something and it ain't done yet, I need to know why. Yeah, I'm just
Yep.
saying. All right. Adopt technology. Guys, this is the biggest thing here lately because project management software can help you utilize tools to track progress, manage schedules, and facilitate communication. CRMs are phenomenal, not just for external, but for internal.
Yeah.
And then have financial systems. You know, one of my business coaches is look, the two first people you need to make sure you have access to, and you may not need to hire them in the beginning, but you know you can when you need to, is a good attorney and a good CPA or tax person. Tax strategist, probably even better. Delegate effectively. Empower your leaders. Assign supervisory roles to trusted team members, allowing them to make decisions within. Here's the thing: when you're the owner, you don't make every decision in the company. You can't. If you're making every decision, you're just going to sit there all day answering questions for everybody in the world. Empower people to do things, but then look and see. Look at your KPIs. Is it working? They may have implemented something that's making you grow 10% a month and you didn't even realize it. It's like, wow, by the end of the year, we're going to be 100% bigger.
Yes.
Uh, Monitor your KPIs. Big. Operational metrics. Assess your project completion rates. What do they look like? If you're a residential service company and you're not looking at every ticket that comes through, you have someone you delegate. Hey, Randy, every ticket that the plumbers ran yesterday, I need you to go through it. What time did the plumber get the call? What time did he get the call for the next job? How many hours is that? How much money did we make on the job? Did he have an apprentice with him? What did we charge? I mean, you've got to look at that stuff and say, hey, that job was profitable. There you go.
Yep.
Because when you got a plumber that 3 or out of 5 jobs or 3 out of 4 jobs, they're not making profit, you got a problem, and you need to adjust it. So stepping back from field work allows business owners to focus on strategic growth. And I love the idea of doing this because my first coach, Michael Gerber, who wrote the E-Myth books, you're either the technician, the manager, or the entrepreneur.
Yep.
You're busy, doing it. And if you're doing those 3 jobs, you're doing a full-time job with 33% effort. Hate to say it, but it's true. And you make it all work by laying a solid foundation. The transition can lead to increased efficiency and profitability if you've got other people helping you do things that are making you profitable.
Yes.
Service work.
Man,
One of my favorites.
water quality testing, a new revenue stream for plumbers.
Gee.
It's something I learned from this guy here, and I'm going to tell you, as someone who has good quality water at the house.
Now.
So amazing. This is a great thing to add. It's a good service because, man, like I was just talking with Amber earlier, we were talking about some of the filtered water that we've been using in the kettles, the Keurigs, the things like that. And it's like, she's like, oh, my kettle, it never turns white anymore. It is always clean inside. The key to that is the water filtration that's installed. And if isn't something that you're offering your customers, you're doing them a disservice.
Okay, hold on. I want to say something real quick just because I got somebody
Go
here
ahead.
on break.
Okay.
Got Sam Pohl in here. Says, hey, I'm on break, boss man. I'm a first-year commercial plumbing apprentice. Love your videos. Number one, Sam, thank you very much. I love what we're doing over here. If you're a plumber, you might want to check out Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education. But I wanted to give you a quick shout out. I know you're on break, so I know you don't have long. Go right back to you, Squirt. Thank you very much.
That's probably the videos he's been watching.
And it probably, but he's over here, so
That's
you
it.
know,
No, I know.
it may be
I
both.
know. But why this matters, rising the awareness. Because something I learned from you with Halo Water is get on and figure out what's in the water in your area. And whenever you do that, and that customer looks it up, and you
what's
tell
in
them
my
what's
water?
in their water, they're going to want some water filtration, guys. So this is a great thing to add. EPA regulations and media coverage have increased consumer demand for water safety insights, which is a great thing. Everybody knows if it's bad water, they don't want it. Okay, and that's why everybody shifted to buying more bottled waters and things like this. Well, guess what? I have bottled water that comes out of my tap, and that is just an amazing feeling. It's simple to start. Most water quality test kits are low cost, easy to use, so that you can actually test the physical water coming out of their tap. Or
I want to pull this up real quick just because you mentioned it.
No, go for it.
And all you got to do is go to Halo Water, scroll down right here, find out what's in your water. No, I don't see my mouse anymore. I know it's there somewhere.
It's right above. Yeah. You're floating.
I'm floating. And you click on it. What's it say here?
So enter your zip code.
75098. Enter.
Boom.
And then it takes you to a link. It's verifying it. And then you get this. What's that say?
Hold on. Share this screen, please.
Oh,
Reshare. It
it
opened
kicked me
a
out to
new
another one.
pop
Okay.
up. Yep.
Okay. So
Good
I'm
catch.
going to do
Remove.
this. So I'm going to stop that one.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to go
Boom.
present again. Share screen.
Check this out, guys.
And
How
right
easy
here,
this
what's in your
is.
water. Literally, when I clicked over there, all I did is enter my zip code. And I wish I could go back and do it. But as you see, there's my zip code right there.
Click. You did something. There you go.
Okay. So you go down City of Wiley and all this, additional utilities. What's that say right there?
Or search by state. Click City of Wiley, maybe. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Okay, see, when you scroll down here, guys, I mean, look at contaminations detected. And you see this number right here, 379X. There's 379 times what is recommended in the water.
And that's bromochloriacic acid.
Okay,
Yeah.
now, hold on. Here's the one. Where's fecal matter? Because it used to be on here. You may have to come down to a different area. But I mean, guys, I'm telling you, chloroform. How many? Isn't that what they put in dead bodies? Chloroform.
Yeah. Or no.
No, I know they
No.
put formaldehyde,
No.
but I thought chloroform was part of it too. Guys, look at all this. This is not what you want in your
It's
body.
crazy.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so let's see. There you go.
Yeah, look at this, guys.
All sorts of stuff.
Radium, and they're talking about how bad that is for us. 10 times what's allowed.
Ooh, then look here. Like the trichloric acid there's no legal limit.
There's
So they don't even
32
stipulate.
times whatever something
That's
is.
it. They don't even stipulate. There's no limit.
So,
It
so
don't
this
matter.
is why we talk about this stuff, guys.
That's it.
Water quality. I mean, you just literally take people to the Halo Water Systems website, have them click on what's in your water, and put their zip code. And you can do this right there with them. Say, hey, look, I've already put your. I'm gonna show you where I'm going. I'm going to the Halo website.
Yep.
That way, and Halo, it's not even them. This takes you to a third party website. What's the website?
EWG.
Yeah, and I don't remember what that is. I know I've looked at it before.
I was going to click EWG home right there. Yep. That should give us something, I'm hoping.
Or
Maybe
not.
not. Go to the bottom.
EWG, trying to make everybody's water good. I'm joking, but that
Hey, Environmental Working Group.
there you go.
There we
so,
go.
So guys, this is a third party. It's not even Halo. So I want y'all to see that. And this is why when I first discovered this and I started looking at water filtration and realizing, look, every house needs it.
Yep.
Guys, that's what it's all about right there. And I know we didn't talk about everything that you had there. That's a
better display
that blows my
anyway.
mind.
Like,
And that's what we're going to talk about. How to do basic testing. It's really easy. Look, if y'all want to learn more about this, and they're not even sponsoring this video,
Yeah.
contact Halo Water and say, look, I want to find out more about this.
They'll train you on it.
They will. They're great at it.
Yep.
MET, material, equipment, and tools, using thermal imaging in service and inspection work.
Yeah, like, and this is becoming a bigger thing for a lot of different trades. A lot of people ask me about leak detection with it, and it's like, yeah, it's a great tool to have in your kit also, because if it's something behind a wall, a lot of times you can just check the temperature that's going on and see that it'll show really quickly. HVAC work, is huge on, because duct leaking, things like that, you can quickly find any issues or problems. Ceilings of a house also, the like window seals, things like that. You can use this for different things. Like, so it's not just one trade that needs this. It covers multiple trades, which is really cool. So HVAC, you can identify insulation gaps, refrigerant line leaks, or unbalanced duct airflow. So you can actually go to each one of
Check the grills.
the spots and check the grills. Plumbing, spot leaks inside walls or under slabs, possibly by detecting cold spots for leaking water lines. I want to play with that.
No, I like that.
Electrical, locate overloaded breakers, not splices or hot splices, or loose connections before they cause failure. Maybe that's all I needed out in the back on it. I don't know. But I think it's pretty cool. There's some entry models under $500. The FLIR one. Then you can also go to like the Pro Series, which are
The EX, the
1,000
E6
plus.
XT.
Yeah, the FLIR E6 XT.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, it depends on how much you use it, how much you're going to need it, on which one that you should get. But if you want the best, you're probably going to get the Pro level.
And if you're not, you need to figure out why not.
Yep.
And here's why. A plumbing contractor in Arizona used a FLIR camera to locate a hot water slab leak in minutes,
Yes.
avoiding hours of destructive work and securing a $1,600 upsell on the spot. $1,600 doesn't sound like enough. I don't mean that bad.
No.
I'm saying, guys, look, you're either tunneling under, you're jackhammering the floor up, you're going through it.
I bet he did a reroute.
And he may have
That's
done
why
a
it's
reroute. And it may have been an
1,600
easy
just-
reroute.
Yep, that's
Yep.
it. Like I was just trying to think where would that sales point be, and it's like, oh, a reroute. And you know, if for reroutes, honestly, guys, Leak Pro is one of the best leak detection equipments out there for that.
It is.
Like,
Gotta
and
fix
you know,
our times.
I know it's been doing that to me
confusing.
lately.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're good.
And I've
just saw
been
it.
trying. I know it's so odd, but we do want to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us come in here, hang out, and talk trades, every aspect of it, for an hour every day, trying to catch you during your lunch break. But Leak Pro builds the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. Like I was just talking about the reroutes. Guys, if you stepped into a home with that Sidekick and you found two valves that were making noise, the line between those valves is the bad line. And you can listen along the slab to locate that leak exactly where it is. Or you can just go, oh, boom, yep, here's where it is. Let's cut those. We're going to reroute real quick and we're done. So you can quickly address that really quick because it's all acoustic in design. I build two different pieces of equipment. I've got a probe for that outdoor stuff. But then when you go inside, I suggest the Sidekick because that's the one, it just enhances that sound with the aluminum rod. And then if you want to listen through the slab, it's going to eliminate that slab for you whenever you're listening. But if you don't know much about leak detection, I offer a 2-day training in person here just outside of Dallas, Texas. I'll teach you how to locate lines. I've got 11 leaks under a slab that we can teach you how to pinpoint leaks on. I've got one just outside of the slab so that you know what that sounds like too. But then also I've got a couple of sewer systems set up. I've got PVC and cast iron to where I teach you how to go to the double clean out outside of the home and isolate branch lines so that you can determine exactly where a sewer's leaking and offer that up for your customer. If you want to check any of the equipment out, visit www.leak-pro.com. If you want to talk training, just give me a call, 1-8888-LEAK-PRO, and we can start running you through how all that is and discuss everything with you. Once again, that's leak-pro.com.
Guys, and it's the greatest equipment out there. I'm telling you, I love that stuff. Matt McDonough says, you guys were talking about welding yesterday. Check out the Fabrication series. Great channel.
Okay.
Matt also says, it's hard to find good worker nowadays. They don't get with the program. Yeah, trust me. We know. Randy, will you get with the program?
I can't.
Killing me. Yeah, go Leak Pro. Look, we love Leak Pro. It's been a great tool for us to help us make a lot of money, help us really grow and get really, really good at slab leaks and leak detection. So I love it. MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, how to handle last minute design changes without chaos. Now, you as an estimator, once the change order happened in the field, did it come back to you? Did they normally send it back to you and say, hey, look, we know you bid this job. Will you go ahead and put some numbers together for this?
One job.
Just one.
Farmer Brothers Coffee.
Okay. One of your favorites. You talk about that one often.
I was part of an install on phase one. I was the superintendent over piping. I helped install the conveyors, all the stuff. Like I was the assistant superintendent.
Gig, right.
That's it. So I moved into the office and started estimating. Well, then phase two came out. Well, then we won some. Well, then there were change orders that would come and they'd just be like, Henry,
Yeah.
we're just going to let you do this.
Because you're very familiar with the job.
You know exactly how long everything's going to take. And it was funny because my boss was transitioning and he was the PM on the job originally. So we worked out some deals and made everything work, where there was times I went out there and actually estimated in the office trailer on site so that we could do some quick change orders for them to keep everything moving.
That's pretty cool.
So
you've got to be able to implement a formal change log, keep track of it. You know, I said this just the other day. Look, nobody wants you to come up at the end of the job and say, hey, we've got 500 change orders here. It's $1 million. They're like, wait, what?
Yep. Yeah.
They're like,
it
yeah,
adds
we
up
can't do
quick,
that.
Like,
Use BIM for re-coordination. Guys, that lets everybody else know, look, what change was made, how's it going to affect them before they get there. And then designate a change manager or a foreman. And this is good because a lot of times that's too much for a project manager to keep up with all by himself.
Yep.
Because he's trying to look at it, he's trying to get out in the field, he's trying to eyeball it, he's trying to put pricing together, but he's still got to do his project management job.
Yeah.
So, you know, having him aware of it and keeping track of it is a good thing, but you need someone to manage that, because there's a job that there's a buttload of change orders.
That's it. Like,
it's every day.
Man, there are some jobs, it happens every single day. And normally those jobs, they've got the PM, they've got a couple of assistants that are working on it. Sometimes they're pinging back to the estimator group to get them to do some change orders for them and work up some differences in materials. And the BIM department, just like he was saying, and now they're getting to where BIM can create you that running list of materials also. Because like what we were seeing was BIM could be the future of estimating, where you're actually drawing all the jobs as you estimate them. It's just a trip to where things could head.
You know, I think it's gonna be, and they do that in what's called, you know, I'm a lead AP, but they've got a thing called lean construction.
Yeah.
And they build the job out from the ground to the roof through BIM.
Yep.
Pull the estimate from that. You got your complete material list. You've got everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know what your calculations are on your labor or your multipliers, and you just plug your numbers in, and then you tweak them. Where do we want to be? So
that's pretty cool.
It's a neat thing. And I love seeing stuff like that done. And then schedule daily syncs on critical projects. If you're making changes, and we ran into this out at E Squared, the emergency tower 2 at Medical City Hospital, Dallas. There were changes that needed to be made, and we'd talk to our office like, yeah, man, we knew y'all were going to have a problem. Or so, well, why didn't y'all fix it? Like, well, we didn't have time. No, you've got time. You're one man in the job sitting in front of a computer. I got 6 guys standing here around in a circle looking up, wondering what we do.
Yep.
And they end up having to fix it anyway. Well, look, if you'll do this, you shouldn't run into anything. And it's like, no, if you'd have done that before, we wouldn't have wasted 2 hours of 6 men standing around. So you just burned 12 hours off my job because your lazy self didn't want to take a minute to do it. And I get upset about stuff like that. I'm being honest.
Yeah, and then chaotic jobs, that's why that designated change manager is so
a big
important
thing to have,
because they've got to stay on top of it.
I want to give a shout out here to Larry Olmenstein. How are you, brother? Says, what's up, Roger Wakefield? Good morning.
Good morning.
The legend.
Yeah.
Who's he talking about?
Oh, he's talking about you.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No. I'm a legend in my own mind. That's it.
To all these apprentices out there, I see them youngsters.
You know what?
I see them youngsters.
You know what? To them, that I think they see me as a hero.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a legend. Well, they don't see me as a legend. I'm like a goat.
You're on YouTube.
I know. And Dr. Phil and Chris Cuomo and the Today Show.
All sorts of stuff. Like, we see you on TV, man.
And TikTok.
How can you not be the legend?
Yeah, really easy. Because once they get to know me, they're like, yeah, you're not a legend. All right, where's the work?
Man, this is a new one that I just heard about.
Let me hear this.
Go ahead. New tribal housing projects funded in the Southwest. I just thought this was pretty cool because I was just like, wait, what? Tribal housing? Like, what does this mean? In 2025, several tribal communities across the Southwest have received a substantial federal and state funding to address critical housing shortages. Just like the rest of the country, they've got a housing shortage too, guys. These projects present real opportunities for contractors across all the trades. Okay, a lot of the key highlights here. The Navajo Nation has a housing initiative, recently awarded over $72 million through a mix of federal HUD grants and tribal partnerships. The Navajo Nation is planning new multifamily housing and infrastructure upgrades in New Mexico and Arizona. Guys, $72 million, that's a lot of buildings, okay? That's a lot of multifamily use facilities. You can get some work out there.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be for everybody. Also, the Tohono O'odham National Nation.
O'odham. Get it right.
O'odham Nation in Arizona allocated $40 million for new energy efficient housing in southern Arizona, including solar infrastructure.
Solar, guys, do you hear that?
And new water and sewer systems. So this is big, guys. And then another one, we've got the Pueblo tribes over in New Mexico. Multiple Pueblos, including Zuni and Isleta, are receiving state-matched funds to replace substandard housing and build senior-friendly units. That's a big one. I'm gonna have to make your unit senior-friendly before too much longer.
Whoa. Why you gotta be like that?
No, it's like in a decade or two. You know, you got time, but it just made a trigger in my head. Like, man, we are gonna have to upgrade.
I'm gonna make a trigger in your head. I'm just saying. Okay, so opportunities for the trades, general contractors and framing. Guys, this is multiple bid packages being released now.
Yep.
Q2 2025, right now. So this is coming out. So if you're in Arizona, New Mexico, where was the other one? Was it California? New Mexico and Arizona.
Yeah. I was gonna say just
if you're in New Mexico and Arizona, start looking into this. Multiple bid packages going out. Plumbing and septic. Many homes will be on rural land like we are, requiring septic installs, water tanks, and PEX-based systems. And why they're calling for PEX, I don't know, but watched a good video about that a while ago. Fix this, build that. My buddy Brad.
Yep.
Talking about PEX. So if y'all have not checked out Fix This, Build That, go over there and make sure you tell Brad, say, hey, Roger sent me.
You'll learn some things.
Yeah, you will. He's a cool guy. He does a lot of good stuff.
Yep.
Electrical and solar. Guys, we've been saying forever, if you're in electrical and you're not doing solar, I want to know why not.
I think we started solar on the first episode of
we
these
probably
lives,
did.
Okay.
Off-grid and grid-tied solar installations are part of the energy independent souls for many tribes. And I've been thinking about this because I want to go solar. I want to get off the grid, but I've always been like, well, I know I need to plug in so I can sell it back to them. And I'm thinking, do I even want to? Just quit producing. I ain't gonna sell it back, but you ain't getting nothing from me either. And that's kind of my mindset. HVAC contractors, many homes are spec'd for high efficiency ductless mini split systems to reduce long-term utility costs.
Yep. And that'll be great for the areas like.
And that's what we're getting ready to install out in your shop.
I'm gonna have to have one this year.
Absolutely.
So I can survive this.
I don't know. You're on carnivore. So you're wanting to lose a little weight. You need to spend 6 hours a day locked in there.
Oh, okay. No problem.
He said, don't expect nothing else. Many of these projects,
sweaty.
There you go. Many of these projects are open to small business and native-owned business partnerships.
Yeah.
With bonding flexibility through tribal governments. And I love that they're setting up the bonding because that's a lot of problems that the smaller companies have.
Yep.
Pretty neat
and
stuff.
Guys, working for the tribes and stuff, it's a good deal. I did WinStar Casino expansion, was working directly with the Choctaw Nation up there. Pretty cool, pretty neat. And I mean, to tell you, if anything happens, they're on top of it. Like, they were very involved. It was really cool to see at how important all of these things are to them and the projects going on. It's great.
Okay, we're going to move into instructor training.
Real quick.
Okay.
Larry's going to get back to work over here.
Oh, is he?
And Matt.
I like that. Hey, you, Roger. Brother, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Matt says, I will try to catch you gentlemen tomorrow. Phone is on fire. Have a great day.
Good deal.
And Larry says, I need to get back to work. Have a good day, brothers. Plum on. 10-4. Larry, Be safe out there. Matt, y'all be safe and hit it effing hard. All right, instructor training. Using job site reviews as real-time teaching tools. Now, this is great because, and I never really thought about this, but after we did big jobs, we always did a post-mortem.
Okay.
So when we'd finish a big job, we'd bring in the superintendent, the foreman, the project managers, talk about where the job came in, where we thought it made money, where we thought it lost money, what did we do right, what did we do wrong. Man, can you imagine having, say Ted Dixon and Ronnie Schreiber at one table, and on the other side of the table, you got me, Kenny Fairbrothers, Brent Tier, you've got your project
Brock
managers and your superintendents. Yep. And then they start off, and of course they look at the project manager and say, okay, tell me where we made money. Tell me how the job came in. Now, what I didn't tell you is, now imagine the Brant Rangers are sitting there on the front row watching us go through all this.
Okay.
Because now they're not thinking that superintendent's in the office not doing anything. They're like, oh my God, they're wearing him out.
Correct. No, they get to see it firsthand.
I love it. So job site review is real-time teaching tools. Guys, if you're at a big company and y'all do postmortems, what a great way to train your apprentices. Because then they're like, wow, now I see why that superintendent's on me. Yeah. Now I see why I shouldn't be hiding in the Connex trying to sleep on the top shelf.
Yep. Oh, he could lose his job if I did something wrong on the job site.
I'm going to get him fired.
Yeah.
So I love this. But how do you do it?
Bring apprentices on walks. That is one of the most important. And the apprentices are the most important here, guys. Don't be so self-centered. They're the ones that don't know yet. And they need to learn. You've got to open their eyes to make them aware of everything they've got to actually see. And don't forget that. Spotlight good work. Okay. That's one of my favorites. When something really goes smooth in one of your postmortems, that's something that you want everybody to hear. Yeah. Because it's a win. We love wins. Okay. Celebrate every win you can. Spotlight good work where you see it. Show the apprentices, look, this was done right. The process was great. There was no punch list. Discuss code in the field. That's one of my favorites. That's one of the things I think that I learned plumbing so quick was every plumber that I worked with, what height is that going to stub at? What height is this? What height is this? They were actually teaching me the code with the questions they always asked me over and over, to where it burned into my mind. And it was just like, oh, I do know plumbing code. And I didn't even realize that I knew code this well. Oh, okay, cool. Use real mistakes as lessons. I was big on this in the field. I was a pretty intelligent guy, didn't screw up too often. So whenever I would, it's like, hold on, how did I mess up? Let me figure it out. Oh, here's what tricked me. Hey, everybody listen up. I screwed up. Here's what caught me. Y'all don't make the same mistake. Mm-hmm. Use it as a teaching point, because mistakes, don't just let them happen. Use them as a learning point for yourself and to teach others.
And I like that, because I worked out at Fidelity, or not Fidelity, over here off George Bush. Anyway, I get shown up. It's one of my first or second union jobs. I'm over there, and Jackie Roberts was the superintendent. Okay. And Ronnie Barkley was my foreman.
I heard that one in a long time.
Ronnie Barkley was my plumbing foreman. Yeah. So they sent me down to an area, and they said, hey, we're going to have you down here. We're going to start here, and you're going to do this. I said, well, do you want me to fix these two vents first? He said, Ronnie looks up and says, what do you mean? I said, well, the combinations ran backwards. It's not going to vent properly. I said, that vent is supposed to go towards the drain. It's going back over towards the P-trap. Yep. And he's like, no, I think that's okay. I'm going to have you start over here. I said, well, Ronnie, I'm just letting you know that's wrong. Because whenever we first walking down, he said, you should probably be my foreman, because you're a plumber and I'm a welder, fitter. Yeah. The low life people. Sorry. Yeah, I had an opportunity.
The king of retro.
There you go. I'm not going to argue that. No, I love Ronnie. Yeah, I know you do. So anyway, I'm like, okay. And I walk over. About 5 minutes later, he had called Jackie. Jackie came down. Jackie looked up and says, hey, you need to turn those combinations around there wrong. Ronnie came over to me and said, man, look, I'm sorry. But it goes back. Discuss code in the field. That's it. And use real mistakes as lessons. He's like, Roger, I won't doubt you. And I'm like, man, I know code.
I had to get Chris Brown one time. They worked at TI a lot. It was plumbers that had been out here for years. And then I took him up to that WinStar Casino expansion, and he went to glue a combination in backwards. And I'm like, bro, why don't you glue that other end of that thing and spin that around for me real quick? Because here's how flow works. And he's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. And that's how I explained it to Roddy.
Sometimes, yeah, we just need that reminder sometimes. Like, it's part of it.
So the big thing on the training here on a real life job, have the apprentice lead a walkthrough one time per week, maybe once a month. Maybe it's a different apprentice each week. But have them lead the walkthrough, report on what they'd fix or approve to help them build their confidence and their leadership skills. Good stuff. All right. Specialty.
Yeah.
Smart irrigation systems where landscapers and plumbers come together. I'm just saying.
You know, I figured you'd find this. I just thought it was pretty cool. Smart irrigation systems. You know, we're always talking how AI is kicking in all these things, how all these smart devices are coming everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're not passing up irrigation, guys. Okay, don't you worry. You are covered too.
You can make money at it too.
That's it. You know, as water conservation regulations tighten, smart irrigation systems are gaining popularity and creating crossover work between trades. Something I'm really hoping that this is going to fix is whenever it's freezing and I see all these beautiful icicle flowers that are created from all these sprinkler systems. I know that this is going to register that and never kick on these systems. It's going to be amazing because that's just one that really hurts my heart whenever I'm driving during the freeze.
I get it. No, it's bad.
What's involved here? Smart controllers connect to weather stations and moisture sensors to avoid schedules automatically. Don't have to schedule it. Don't have to program it. Don't have to deal with any of it. It's going to automatically do this. Drip systems and low flow sprayers reduce overspray and water waste. Very important. And if you've got one that's just flooding your yard and things like that, guess what? It needs to be readjusted.
And the big one for plumbers right here, backflow prevention and cross connection. Guys, cross connection is the one that most people, they don't even understand it, but it's where the sewer water can get into the potable water. And guys, if I don't mean this bad, but if you're a handyman and you install the wrong thing in the wrong place, it can happen. Even something so little as a fill valve in a toilet, not doing it right, you create a cross connection. So in many municipalities, a licensed plumber is required to inspect and install those. We are definitely the ones who install the backflow preventers, but the opportunities for the trades here, plumbers get certified for backflow inspections. I had it for a long time, but there's people that just do that all day, every day. They don't charge much at $60, $70. That's more than I charged an hour. So it's like, it's not worth it for me to even keep my license. But bundle irrigation with remodels or home efficiency products. Now you tie it all in together. It's great if you're doing rainwater harvesting, gray water reclamation, anything like that. And then landscapers partner with licensed plumbers to offer compliant installs and upsell long-term service contracts.
Man, that's a key right there, because if you're offering compliant installs and other people don't
And
have
service
that,
contracts.
aren't calling that out, it's going to stand you apart from everybody else, because that triggers something in the mind. It's like, oh my gosh, wait, they're going to do it right. These other people aren't saying anything about that. So hopefully your phone rings first.
And I like this landscaping company in Nevada, out by Las Vegas. You know, it's kind of where it is. Added a license. Thank you, Matt McDonough. Added a licensed plumbing subcontractor for all installs. In the first quarter of 2025, they upsold 38 customers to smart irrigation upgrades worth $1,200 each.
Yeah.
That's extra 38, 40, 50 grand, 45 grand, 44 up around in there. Not bad numbers just by adding a plumber to help you upsell. Good stuff. My brother Dimitri, going to talk about social media spotlight. We're going to talk about roofing.
Yeah. You know, Dmitry Lipinski blends roofing business education, contractor advocacy, and product reviews. It's a go-to resource for both roofers and general contractors who want to understand more than just shingles. He's been on the podcast, so that's on some of the video in the video section. If you want to check him out, I can't think of the title of it right now, but
Oh, the one we did?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
was
don't
just,
either.
and I need to make some of those notes in here sometime. Uh, he does a lot of contractor education. Uh, it dives in how to price jobs, how to avoid some shady contracts, things like that, and navigate insurance work.
And he's got a lot of good stuff.
He does.
And look, I like the guy. He's all about how do we make the trades better.
That's it. Like he fits into our culture very well.
Yeah.
A lot of the people we talk about do too. The ones that we know, but like price increase letter makes roofing contractors furious. He goes in and he's going to break this down and tell you all the parts of it, what's coming, what you need to be aware of, things to prepare for. Door knocking sales tactics that drive homeowners crazy. So this is one of those. Avoid these things if you are a door-to-door salesman. So, it's just kind of guiding you throughout different parts. And this is, these are some of his most recent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's check out some of the most popular.
Absolutely.
One of my favorites.
Gutter guards.
Gutter guards. Man.
Look, 3 of his top 4 videos are gutter guards.
Yep. Yeah. The worst gutter guards, part 1, part 2. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Part 2 got watched more than part 1. 7 ways that roofers cheat, things like that. Guys, anything and everything roofing for normal roofing, I would say. I don't think I've seen him do a lot of like the metal roofs, things like that, or the tile.
No, I hadn't seen much of that.
So this is more your standard roofing style. It's a great channel for it to kind of get an idea how to do things better, how to become better at your trade and your craft. Different things to think about if you are going to get a new roof so that you kind of know what you're talking about with your roofer.
I like this Flex Seal. Don't do it.
Oh yeah, man! Never thought about just spraying that on a roof.
Yeah, but gee, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Guys, socials, it's out there. If there's anything that you want to learn for your trade, you want to get better, check out some socials. If you want to learn plumbing, I'd check this guy out over here. But roofing, I would definitely check out Dimitri because he really has a variety of everything. And he's well versed in it.
Yeah, he's a
Super
great guy.
knowledgeable,
That's the thing. One of my favorite ones he did, and I don't see it up here, is when he tested the ladders. And literally, he went and bought like 10 ladders. And then he drives this parking lot where he knew that there was a wall, about a 6-foot wall, and he extended these ladders out, laid them up on the wall, and then laid them down the parking lot. And then he grabbed like some 50-pound kettlebells and literally walked up the ladder. And I mean, most of them were going, and then you'd get 1 or 2 that wouldn't. And he's like, okay, look, guys, look, this is the best ladder.
Yeah.
And that's just a great way
I like
to test.
that, yeah.
And he's like, look, I didn't ask them to donate the ladders. I spent my money.
Yep.
Went down to the hardware store and bought them. And, this is what it looks like. So anyway, I think that's great. And like I said, I love what he's doing. It's contractor education. It's tool and product reviews, but then industry accountability. And he's got another company called Directory, DRECTORII. And man, it's kind of like an Angie's List, which I think Angie's List has tried suing him multiple times for saying that they're a scam, but they can't win because he's not lying. Yep. He actually brought in somebody that used to work for them.
Yeah.
And interviewed them, and they're like, hey, look, we tell you that we're going to send you 3 leads, but really we'll send those same 3 leads to 50 plumbing companies in town. Whoever gets there first probably got the job.
Yeah.
And unless you just got somebody sitting there waiting on those leads to just that thing to pop, you're probably not going to get them.
Nope.
Top videos, best shingles of 2024, full testing and results. How much should a roof cost? Break down the math. Avoid these 3 roofing sales tricks. And storm restoration scams and how to avoid them. And we just got hit with the hailstorm here recently.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I need to call my insurance company for the house.
Yeah.
And my truck. Neat stuff.
It's big. Yeah. Like then the storms, that's a big one there because whenever there are hailstorms and bad storms, that's when the scammers like to come out. So
they don't
cautious.
just come out, man. They truck them in bus loads.
Yeah. They flood everywhere.
There are companies that literally, they'll just call the top salespeople from around the country and say, hey, come on.
Yeah.
We got a hailstorm. Come make money, because they make probably 10% of a $40,000 roof.
Yep.
Okay, I made $4,000 3 times today because I sold 3 roofs.
That's it.
Not a bad deal. All right. Getting out of the field. I'm going to talk about this. How can I transition out of the field without quality slipping or clients getting upset? And clients used to get upset because they call and they're like, look, I want Roger to come.
Yep.
It's like, guys, Roger's not out in the field anymore. He has put together an amazing team. People that have been trained by Roger. They can call Roger. They can ask him questions. Once we get out there and get the work going, if you've got any questions that you feel Roger's the only guy can answer, he'll talk to you. But you've got to build that team around you. And it all starts with the process documentation, your SOPs for everything from estimating to install walkthroughs. I say this a lot, but one of the entrepreneurs that I was in business with told me something one day. He said, anytime you do something more than once, have a process. Guys, you got to do that. And you've got to be able to build a process that is yours the way you want it done. But then when you hand it to someone else and say, this is our process, this is what we do, you've got to trust that they're going to do it. And I've let go of people because went back and looked at pictures of the work they did and they installed shark bites. And I'm like, what the freaking what? You've got to be able to trust them. So SOPs for everything from estimates to install walkthroughs.
Yep.
Build a culture of accountability and train your team to communicate like you do. But that means you've got to communicate very well. And I love that we're talking about communication because, again, I talk about this all the time. We teach kids in school to read, to write, to talk.
Mm-hmm.
We don't teach them how to listen at all.
No. Yeah, I mean,
unless
occasionally during
the
a
teacher's
lecture,
screaming
but that's
at you,
about it.
Unless the teacher's screaming at you, saying, listen
yeah,
to me.
I was going to say, at most was maybe when a teacher was trying to actually lecture and people start talking, hey, no, I'm talking right now. Everybody shut up and actually listen. But that didn't happen very often, I assure you.
but I think even more than that, it's not just, hey, quit talking and listen. It's listen with intent.
Now that's what never got taught.
Exactly.
Yep.
Listen to understand what I'm saying, not just listen to hear what I'm saying. Listen to understand what I'm saying. And I think that is the biggest thing here. Train your team to communicate like you do. If you just listen, it's like, yeah, you're fine. Go ahead. Do
or
whatever.
better than you.
Yeah.
Even.
And then consider easing into an off-the-tool role by shadowing client meetings before handing them off. Do a walkthrough with somebody. When Squirt's walking through the job, just walk behind him and they're like, well, aren't you doing this? They're like, no, this is Squirt's. I'm just checking to make sure we're doing things right.
That's it. Yeah.
That's a game changer. Talk about Leak Pro.
We do want to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us come in here and hang out for an hour and talk all aspects of the trades. Leak Pro is the manufacturer of the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. What I do, I build 2 different pieces of equipment, guys. I've got the Probe T-handle style stainless steel rod, real durable for that meter to the home service. If you're when you step foot into that house or you're listening through a driveway or a sidewalk or something like that, you'll really want the Sidekick. It's a pistol grip style with an aluminum rod on there. That's what eliminates that layer of concrete whenever you're listening for leaks. I would definitely suggest the complete kit because then it comes with a remote controlled outlet and a universal adapter for your air compressor. That's what takes it from a 2-man operation and turns it into a 1-man operation to where you can go out solo and locate leaks yourself. If you don't know anything about it, I do a 2-day in-person training here just outside of Dallas, Texas, where I teach you how to locate lines. I've got 11 slab leaks that you can learn to pinpoint. I've got 1 outside of the slab itself to know exactly what that sounds like also. But then I do sewer isolation training also to where you can determine exactly where a sewer line's leaking. If you want to check out the equipment or talk training, you can visit www.leak-pro.com or you can give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO.
Guys, look, Leak Pro is the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. If you really want to grow your business or your personal skills, check it out. Thank you for being here today. An amazing hump day. It always is. We love hump day. We know where we're headed.
That's it.
But, remember, whatever you're doing out there today, slow down and do it safe.
And thanks for showing up today. Hope to see you back in here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Time, live, or catch the replay. But guys, get out there and hit it effing hard. Bye.
See ya.